First Alert Weather with meteorologist Darren Stack.
Friday is here, and after the beautiful week we've had, today will be a transition day. More clouds moving in. The breeze will be picking up as Sandy works away from the Bahamas and off the Carolina coastline as we go through the weekend. We will get some impacts from Sandy, but minor in comparison to what folks off to the north will see. And then as we head into next week, a cold shot of air will be diving into the southeast. Sandy, as mentioned, moving away from the Bahamas, will pass well to our east, roughly 300 miles off of our coastline. But you can see Sandy is a very large system. That cloud shield will spread across the area through the afternoon and evening. It will make that turn, though, off to the north and northeast, all thanks to this line of clouds you see here. It's a cold front that'll stall out to our west, but it will help skirt Sandy well to the east of the Carolinas before making a turn back to the northwest by the end of the weekend and into the first half of next week, potentially turning into a major system for folks for the mid-Atlantic, Northeast, and New England states. Certainly, if you have family and friends up there, make sure that they are staying weather aware of a potential historic event that could be occurring with, at this point, Sandy. By then, it may turn into just a major nor'easter as it loses its tropical characteristics. For our area, we will be talking about rain chances, slim chances down by the coast today. Most locations are going to stay dry in through the afternoon and early evening hours. It's the overnight when the rain will start to move onshore down by the beaches. For areas west of I-95, conditions will be much drier for you, especially for those who are heading over to Columbia to catch the USC game this weekend. Breezy out there on Saturday, but you can see a big divide from I-95 eastward where there's going to be areas of heavy rain, especially along the coastline. West of 95, conditions will be much drier and winds will be much calmer compared to down along the coastline. You can see through Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening, rain chances are still along the coastline, drier for the inland areas as we go into Sunday. And it looks like Sunday will be dry for the inland areas. Slim chance of a shower still along the coast through the start of the day, but drier conditions by the afternoon. Still holding on to some of those clouds wrapping around Sandy. So as far as rainfall goes, we will be talking about potentially 2 to 3 inches of rain down by the beaches in eastern Horry and Georgetown County. But those rainfall totals fall off exponentially as you go westward to barely getting a quarter of an inch of rain at worst for areas around Darlington and points to the west much drier. If you do get any of the heavier rain bands, though, we may see isolated totals get up a little bit higher than an inch across parts of the areas in the PD and east of I-95. So certainly keep an eye out for that. As far as our wind goes, we will be talking wind gusts down along the coastline around 40 miles an hour, falling off as you head a little further inland. Darlington, Hartsville could see gusts up around 25, Florence and Marion at 30 miles an hour as we go through mainly Saturday into early Sunday morning. Waves down by the beaches certainly will be an issue. The main impacts will be well offshore. You can see wave heights could even reach 20 to 25 feet well off our coastline. Down along our coastline, between 5 to 8 foot waves, certainly not out of the question. We're going to be dealing with that dangerous rip current down by the beaches as well, rough surf and high seas. So definitely not a weekend to be on the water, in the ocean, or down by the beaches by any means. We'll be keeping a very watchful eye on the developing situation across our area over the course of the weekend. Over the course of next week, though, we've been mentioning Sandy developing into a major nor'easter of historic proportions potentially. Behind it, it will funnel down some very cold air with Sandy deepening and strengthening off the, basically the mid-Atlantic northeastern coastline. They're going to be dealing with potentially hurricane-force winds, torrential rain, flooding a concern as well. Our area getting that blast of cold air behind it as we go to the first half of next week, which we'll take a look at that in your 7-day forecast. But for today, look for a mix of sun and clouds, a breezy and warm one this afternoon. Slim chance of a coastal shower. Highs will be topping out in the upper 70s area wide. Few spots knocking on the door of 80 degrees inland. Overall, look for that mix of sun and clouds to become mostly cloudy tonight. Now, coastal areas for high school football may get a shower to deal with out there. Looks like for the PD, you should be dry for those high school football games. Your Saturday forecast for the CCU game, it does look like we're going to be dealing with soaking rain at times and very windy conditions. And those highs only in the low 70s. By next week, as mentioned, look at that blast of cold air coming in, struggling to hit 60 for a high on Tuesday. Wake-up temps will be in the low 40s. For the inland areas, upper 70s today, struggling to hit 70 all weekend long. Saturday looks like it's going to be the best chance for rain around I-95 and the PD. Today will be dry, Sunday will be dry, and even Saturday late afternoon into the evening, that rain will be pulling away from the PD. So it looks like we'll start to see those conditions improve there as well. You can see, though, by Tuesday, high of only 57 degrees. So a big blast of chilly conditions coming in our way next week. Now, we do have to keep an eye on those potential tropical storm force winds down along the coastline. A tropical storm watch has been issued, even though Sandy is going to be passing several hundred miles to our east. So we will continue to keep you updated right here, as well as on your website, carolinalive.com, underneath the Hurricane Central page with the latest on our thoughts on Sandy throughout the course of the weekend. Have yourself a wonderful Friday and a great safe weekend.